Imagine waking up at 5:30 in the morning every day, barely functional, and then being expected to perform at your best, take tests, participate in class discussions, and make important decisions. Now imagine doing that as a teenager, when your brain and body are still developing. This is the reality for millions of students across the country. Most of us are either students, have kids in school, or remember what it felt like. Early school mornings aren't just an inconvenience, they're also harmful. After reviewing medical research and case studies from districts that have made changes, it's very clear. Middle and high school students should start school later in the mornings. Today, I'll be telling you how early school times conflict with teen biology, the serious consequences of sleep deprivation, and how delayed start times are already making a positive difference in communities across the country. To understand why early school start times are so harmful, we first need to look at how teenagers' sleep patterns are biologically different from adults. As children enter adolescence, their internal clock, called the circadian rhythm, naturally shifts. They don't start to feel sleepy until around 11 p.m. and don't naturally wake until after 8 a.m. That means waking up at 6 or 6:30 for school is the equivalent of an adult waking up at 3 or 4 a.m. every day. This isn't laziness, it's science. Forcing teens to rise earlier than their natural sleep cycle leads to chronic sleep deprivation. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, chronic sleep loss in children and adolescents is one of the most common and easily fixable public health issues we have in the U.S. Now that we understand how teens are wired to sleep later, let's take a closer look at what actually happens when they don't get the rest that they need. Sleep deprivation in teens has serious lasting effects, not just on their academics, but also their physical and mental health. When students are exhausted, it's harder to focus, retain information, or stay alert in class. That results in lower grades, decreased test scores, and reduced engagement within the class. Students who sleep less than 7 hours perform significantly worse than those who get 8 or more. Sleep isn't just about energy, though. It's critical for their physical and mental health. Teens who don't get enough sleep are at a greater risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and a weakened immune function. Their bodies don't get the time that they need to grow and repair. But perhaps the most concerning, sleep-deprived teens experience more depression, anxiety, and emotional instability. Sleep deprivation has been directly linked to an increased risk of suicidal thoughts and behaviors. This is not just about being tired. It's about protecting the long-term health and safety of our children, their physical health, and their mental well-beings. Clearly, the cost of early start times is high. But the good news is there's a solution that's already working in other places. Some say changing school schedules is too difficult, but it's already happening. In 2019, California passed a law requiring schools to start no earlier than 8:30 a.m. After implementation, schools saw improvement in attendance, the academic performance, and the students' well-beings. In Minneapolis, schools shifted their start times from 7:15 a.m. to 8:40 a.m., and they also saw similar results: higher grades, lower dropout rates, and fewer disciplinary problems. While there are logistical challenges like busing and extracurricular activities, the schools made this work, and the long-term benefits far outweighed the temporary inconvenience. We've looked at how teen sleep cycles work, the real consequences of not getting enough sleep, and the schools that have already shown us change is possible. The evidence can be overwhelming. Later start times help students thrive academically, physically, and emotionally. If you are a student, a parent, or a community member, you can help in your own way. Speak at the school board meetings. Sign the petitions. Support policies that promote healthy school schedules. This issue affects all of us, whether we believe it or not. Let's stop treating sleep like a luxury for our students and start treating it like it's the necessity that it is. Let teens sleep and help them succeed.